I guess we'll have to go for the scene first. Though it was horrible to you, I learned a few things while I was in that desert lab. First and foremost, Viper hasn't disappeared. No duh. No duh. Worst of all, they are trying to create the ultimate Shadow Pokemon, one that is impossible to purify. Viper must be playing world domination using Shadow Pokemon as their weapons again. To counter their new Shadow Pokemon conspiracy. Dude, it's not really the best time? I guess so. Purify Chamber is finally done. So, fantastic, even more tutorials that we go through before I can end the part off. The game was at least kind enough to heal me, I guess. And I mean, we got Pokemon ready to purify, so we can at least show this off in full spectacle. Take a good look, this is the Purify Chamber. Your father and I designed it 5 years ago when we were motivated by the Shadow Incident. If evildoers were to take Shadow Pokemon again, we want to be able to save them ourselves. Your father believed that passionately. To honor your father's wish, I put together our Pokemon XG lab. I'm sure if your father was here, I'm sure he would be delighted. Well, it's gone. It seems everyone rallied around Lily and made things happen. Why have you lead the way? Actually, I was hoping to talk to all the other NPCs first, but I guess Crane was the mandatory one. I'm gonna breeze by for this faster because I feel like I can. For one, I feel like it's better to show rather than tell. So I feel like I could do a better job explaining than just the random text on the screen can do. So let's hop on in and I'll kind of show you what I mean. It's actually a really interesting in-depth system and also natural evolution of Purification and just the way Shadow Pokemon work in Coliseum proper. So when we go to this chamber, we have 9 different circles to work around with. And how it works is that we have a Shadow Pokemon here, and you can put one Shadow Pokemon in each of these chambers. And hypothetically, it would slowly purify as we walk around, but we need to do more than just put it in the center. I think Torchic will... So, as we add Pokemon, purified Pokemon to surround the Shadow Pokemon, the pure-heartedness and kindness of the purified Pokemon will help the Shadow Pokemon become more and more purified. Our temple on the left determines how fast it will purify. As you can see, we can surround it with 4 Pokemon, and it'll go like pretty fast, but to truly purify a Pokemon optimally, we need to create a good flow over there on the right. Now, this will be a little tricky to do until we have more purified Pokemon to work around with, but for demonstration purposes, I'll do what I can. For starters, to optimize our flow, let's try putting our grass type here instead. You might be able to see that on top of just surrounding the Pokemon, there's actually a little circle that flows around between them. And when we replace Grovyle with Tailo, the circle got... the line turned from a blue color to a brighter blue color, like a lighter color. Flow here is actually determined by type advantage, so since fire is strong against grass, we got a good flow from Torchic to Grovyle. Because grass is strong against water, we got a good flow from Grovyle to Swimmer Speed there. And I'm gonna trust they got the Gen 5 type shark involved in here too, so let's put our Mayana here. You see, because very strong against dark, we got a good flow there. Maybe a little tricky to actually find a Pokemon that's weak to dark, but strong against grass. But what I can do is just put Tailo here. So we got a flow from just about everything but one. I'll take a look and see if I can create optimal flow, but we may need to purify some Shadow Pokemon first. So this is probably the best flow I'm gonna get without just sinking way too much time, if it's even possible without more Pokemon. But as you can see, as we get more Pokemon and can create better flows, we'll be able to purify our Shadow Pokemon even faster. And maybe self-explanatory, but what we do if the Shadow gauge on Pokemon is already completely filled or completely empty, and we were to, you know, squeeze it onto this little chamber here we got. The Fanfy will open his heart, but at least there must be at least one regular Pokemon on the set to perform this purification ceremony. Alright, as you can see here, we have at least one purified Pokemon against each of our Shadow Pokemon that are about ready to be purified. And this is where the magic happens. Fake Out, hoping we get that considering the move we lost in this place. Drain Punch, and a little bit of experience. One down, several more to go. Time for a moment of truth. Good old little Vampy here, ready to join the team. Not as one of the forces of darkness. Though I just realized I never thought of a name for you. Play rough, nice. Oh, I remember, I did think of a name for you. Not the most brilliant name in the world, but... when else am I gonna get to make a Donkey Kong Country 3 reference? Alright, let's see what other buddies that we can set free. Wow. I'll think of one later if I actually decide to use it. Oh, I gotta think of a name for the streamers too. I think I'm not gonna worry about any more names tonight, because like this is definitely the end of the recording session. Like I did not expect to spend this much time just messing about with the purification chamber, but it takes a little bit to get used to, but it's a pretty interesting system once you actually do. Rock Tomb. We start out with Spore! Thank you! We're already getting Mega Drain. I'm sure we can find a place for that. Oh. I guess that's just the normal level we'd learn it at, but... literally no point in learning it. We already got the better one. Well, that was a level up move, not the purification move, so they can't all be winners. Again, I'll definitely come up with a name for you later. But yeah, see what we get from purifying our Beedrill. Gotta be pretty tough to top off the shadow moves that it already had, but I'm sure this mod will find a way. U-turn. Cool, but not as exciting since I already have the TM. Sword Stance and U-turn is Sword Stance is a pretty interesting move to start off with. So it is a solid move pool. I just kind of wonder if I should have kept it Shadow a little bit longer, because I actually really was enjoying Shadow Shield, even though it was just like a glorified Protect. And there you have it. Like, with the help of the Purification Chamber, we can do so much so quickly. It's a lot more efficient than running back and forth between a Gate Village and wherever we are. Plus, like, you can't really see it because I put all my Pokemon for Purifying. We'll see it in action more as we play through the game, but the real awesome part about the Purification Chamber is that it won't matter how many Shadow Pokemon we got. We don't have to have them in our party to efficiently purify them. We can access this we can access this Purified Chamber right from our PC, so we can rearrange it anywhere we go. And as you might expect, as we purify more Shadow Pokemon, we'll be able to get more efficient with the Purification Chamber because we have more Shadow Pokemon to work around with. Well, that's a certainly ironic ability. Oh, that's right, I was going to check out what all these moves do. Shadow Spirit, restores half the HP, a drain from the foe. Shadow Bully, damage is equal to the user's level. Interesting. Also kind of gives me the feeling this is not the last time we see that move. Shadow Snooze. Suppressive Aura that weakens non-shadow moves and apparently also heals the Shadow Pokemon. Actually, I should probably just do this all off screen. Like, I was gonna just quickly... I'm keeping the recording going, and I've noticed I'm almost up to 50 minutes again. Point being, I'm gonna just do all this off screen because recording sessions going on for way too long as is. My computer's not gonna be too happy about just how big these files are with how little I'm actually keeping. So I should probably get myself out of here because that's gonna happen. Oh, speaking of Cyper, Lily, have you made any progress with that data ROM that we brought back from Cypress Lab? Oh yes, I have access to analyze the contents of the SD card. It should be ready soon. Can you go upstairs and ask Dex how he's doing? Dex is the man in the room next to the director's office, remember? He was compiling basic data. Oh, Jovi's okay. This is for work. Seeing Jovi and her boundless energy makes me realize that I'm back home. Anyways, I wonder what's on that SD card. Well, it's good that they remembered to actually change that part of the text. Alright, are they gonna actually let me leave? Because I want to go get berries in between recording sessions and that too. Wow, they are just letting me walk off. Good to know. I don't think I've ever actually shown off the old man berries after the first time. Just to show how ridiculous it can be. Especially because I think there was a couple new ones in the mix there. Apple berry. Seems like we get one Dosha berry every single time, which is good because those are the best ones. Dosha's the one that lets us tank a shadow attack. So those are only nice to have. Cobra berry, probably could use that in the previous fight. Actually, I think I did. That's how I was able to survive that sucker punch. Oh well. Okay. For real, see y'all later. It's kind of getting late for me anyways. So, it's a new recording session, a new day. And let's just say... I've been busy for literally no time that's happened in game. Ooh, that is certainly something to play around with. Did the Torchic really only have one move the whole time? If I do decide to use it, I'll give it a nickname later. But for now, I just want to focus on seeing what sort of new things actually come out of here. I'm so glad we finally got this Purification Chamber unlocked, if only because this is the one place we can purify Pokemon without it lagging. Alright, Mudkip. Last chance to redeem yourself. Let's see what happens when you become pure of heart and unlock your full potential. Aqua Jet. I mean, Aqua Jet's not bad. I mostly want to do this so it's kind of just like a snowball effect. The more Pokemon we purify with the Purification Chamber, the more Pokemon that we can use the Purification Chamber for. We now have 3 more Pokemon to play around with. Let's see its own action. It's not a terrible move pool. Aqua Jet for priority. Water Pulse is solid damage. There's a nice secondary effect. Yawn, Mud Shot. I guess just Damp really just brings it down a notch for me. Meanwhile, you got Speed Boost Torchic here. It's just like a nice blend of fighting and fire moves already. And this is an okay tempo. I'm gonna lovingly refer to this episode as the filler arc because it's been way too long, over a week if not several weeks since they last recorded Pokemon XG. I'm only in the mood for some casual commentary, so I think instead of progressing the plot, we'll finally get to check out Mount Battle. If only so I finally have something to do off screen besides running back and forth to the Berry Man and stock up on berries. Because I've kept myself pretty busy. So yeah, as you can see, keep myself pretty busy with this chamber. It's far from optimal, but now that we got things down a little bit, it's actually going pretty slow with how much I've been running back and forth. Like, the Shadow Mystery Abyss, I kept my party, and that was purified like several days ago, just from off-screen, running to the Berry Man, trying to get him to trigger, running out of town, because I think that resets it, and run back in and stuff like that. Since I want to be able to do something off-screen, I think I'll do Mount Battle today, at least as much as I can. That way you can all see my first impressions of it, and then maybe if I really get bored, or it's just in a general situation, if I want to play the game but I don't feel like commentating, I can just grind battle points in Mount Battle so we can like mess around with the move tutor and all that. That seems like a good use of everyone's time involved. So in actuality, I could purify this Mystery Abyss right now, because again, that's been ready to go for a bit. But we have all these shadow moves that I never got a good opportunity to mess around with. And kind of in a similar mindset with the Clefairy here. At least that still has a little bit to go. See, we got Shadow Spirit. Oh, so it's like a glorified Seismic Toss. And it's not completely accurate. Like, Seismic Toss was... You say that like Seismic Toss wasn't bad enough in of itself, and then you just gotta give it the Shadow Sheath treatment. Oh boy. Shadow Snooze, that makes sense. Especially because now that we learned that it immediately puts them to sleep, and it's not like Yawn. And Shadow Train, which would probably be pretty cool if it wasn't for the fact that I have the majority of the Pokemon purified already with berry stocking. Speaking of berry stocking, I've been off-screening some berries, so let's take a look at our haul. Especially when we get down towards the bottom here, we got 6 Copa berries, 6 Kia berries, 6 Chara berries, Tango berries and Choco berries, Caspi. Oh wow, we certainly did good with the berries. But I think the real moment of truth is when we get down to the Dosha berries. Yeah. 8 Dosha berries. I'm pretty sure that every time you talk to the Berry Man, it's guaranteed that you get one Dosha berry at the very least. Oh wow, I even got a few pinch berries. I didn't even realize that. I don't think I've ever actually used pinch berries because in casual playthrough, a main series game, they're so rare. And then like in competitive, they feel so niche. So, especially if I got like 3 of these, this might be the perfect opportunity to actually try out that particular battle mechanic another time. So like as if I didn't already have enough excuses to just do Mount Battle today, I've kind of noticed because I've been using so many Shadow Pokemon in the Shadow Pokemon lair, our main team getting a bit underleveled. So maybe I'll just put the Shadow Pokemon away for now and just focus on the Pokemon that I currently feel will be staying around for a while. We'll see how I feel once I actually get to Mount Battle. Besides, I'm sure that this that we dropped off in the last episode Has a lot of critical information that would take a long time to process, so now's even better of a time as ever to actually do a filler arc. If you can't, can you tell that I'm just completely out of the zone right now? One day I'll actually remember to sell that nugget. You know what? This episode's a mess already. Let me just do that right now before I forget even further. You think I would have at least done it off screen with all the back and forth I was doing with the Berry Man. Alright, let's dive right into it.